The first hour of your morning is more powerful than most people realize. It is not just 60 minutes on a clock. It is the moment when your mind begins to set the tone for everything that follows. The way you start your day often determines the way you experience your day. That is why successful people do not leave their mornings to chance. They understand that if they can win the first hour, they dramatically increase their chances of winning the entire day. Think about what happens when you wake up. Your mind is fresh. Your thoughts are not yet crowded by the demands, distractions, and pressures of the world. In those early moments, you have a choice. You can either take control of your day, or you can allow your day to take control of you. Many people wake up and immediately reach for their phones. Before they even get out of bed, they begin scrolling through social media, checking emails, reading messages, and reacting to what everyone else is doing. Within minutes, their focus is scattered. Their energy is drained. Their attention belongs to the world instead of themselves. They spend the rest of the day trying to catch up, wondering why they feel overwhelmed and unproductive. But there is another way. Imagine waking up and deciding that the first hour belongs entirely to you. Instead of rushing into chaos, you begin with purpose. You take a moment to breathe deeply and appreciate the opportunity that a new day brings. You remind yourself that every sunrise is another chance to improve, grow, and move closer to your goals. When you start with gratitude, your mindset changes. You stop focusing on what is missing and start recognizing what is possible. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, and abundance creates confidence. It becomes much harder for negativity to take hold when your day begins with appreciation. Then you move your body. It doesn't have to be a complicated workout. A walk, a stretch, a few minutes of exercise. Anything that gets your blood flowing and your energy rising. Physical movement sends a message to your brain that it's time to engage, focus, and perform. It wakes up your body, sharpens your mind, and prepares you to face challenges with strength. Next, you feed your mind with something valuable. Read a few pages of a great book. Listen to an inspiring message. Learn something that helps you grow. The information you consume in the morning acts like fuel for your thinking. If you fill your mind with positivity, knowledge, and encouragement, you carry those qualities into every conversation, decision, and opportunity throughout the day. The first hour is also the perfect time to reconnect with your goals. Too many people spend their lives reacting instead of creating. They spend every day putting out fires, but never building the future they truly want. When you take a few moments each morning to think about your purpose, you remind yourself why your efforts matter. You create direction. And when you have direction, your actions become more intentional. Winning the first hour does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Some mornings will be easier than others. Some days you will feel motivated, and some days you won't. But discipline is not about doing something only when you feel like it. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Every great achievement begins with small decisions made repeatedly over time. The person who becomes successful, confident, and fulfilled is often the person who learned to master the beginning of the day. They understood that every morning is an opportunity to reset, refocus, and recommit to their vision. The truth is simple. If you begin your day with purpose, energy, gratitude, and focus, you give yourself a powerful advantage. Challenges will still come. Obstacles will still appear, but you will meet them with a stronger mindset and a clearer sense of direction. Win the first hour, and you create momentum. Create momentum, and you build productive days. Build productive days, and you build an extraordinary life. It all starts with those first 60 minutes. Master them, and you will discover that winning the day becomes much easier than you ever imagined. The words you speak every day are more powerful than you think. They do more than communicate ideas to other people. They shape your beliefs, influence your emotions, guide your actions, and ultimately help determine the direction of your life. Whether you realize it or not, the conversation you have with yourself is one of the most important conversations you will ever have. Many people spend years speaking limitations over their lives. They say things like, "I'm not talented enough. I never get lucky. I can't do that." Or, "Success isn't meant for someone like me." These words may seem harmless, but every time they are repeated, they become stronger. Over time, they begin to sound like facts instead of opinions. Eventually, those negative beliefs influence decisions, reduce confidence, and prevent people from reaching their full potential. The truth is that your mind is always listening. It pays attention to the messages you repeat most often. If you constantly tell yourself that you are weak, incapable, or destined to fail, your mind begins to accept those statements as reality. Your actions then follow those beliefs. You hesitate when opportunities appear. You avoid challenges because you expect disappointment. You settle for less because you've convinced yourself that's all you deserve. But imagine what happens when you begin speaking success into your life instead. Imagine waking up every morning and reminding yourself that you are capable of growth. Imagine telling yourself that challenges are opportunities to learn, not reasons to quit. Imagine looking at obstacles and saying, "I will find a way," instead of saying, "I can't do it." The words may seem simple, but their impact can be extraordinary. Successful people understand that confidence is not something you wait to feel. Confidence is something you build through repeated action and belief. One of the fastest ways to strengthen belief is through positive and purposeful self-talk. When you consistently speak words of strength, determination, and possibility, you train your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems. This does not mean pretending life is perfect. It does not mean ignoring difficulties or acting as though obstacles do not exist. It means choosing to speak with faith rather than fear. It means recognizing challenges while still believing in your ability to overcome them. Every great achievement in history began with someone believing something was possible before there was evidence to prove it. Before success became visible, it first existed in the form of belief. That belief influenced words, and those words influenced actions. Think about athletes preparing for a championship, entrepreneurs building a business, or leaders pursuing a vision. They face doubt, criticism, setbacks, and uncertainty just like everyone else. The difference is that they refuse to allow negative voices to become stronger than their own. They learn to encourage themselves when circumstances are difficult. They learn to speak victory before victory arrives. Your words can either become a source of power or a source of weakness. Every day, you are making that choice. When you tell yourself that you can learn, you become more willing to try. When you tell yourself that you can improve, you become more committed to growth. When you tell yourself that your goals are possible, you become more likely to take the actions required to achieve them. Success often begins long before the results appear. It begins in the mind. It begins in the beliefs you choose to accept. And those beliefs are reinforced by the words you speak consistently. The next time you catch yourself speaking negatively, pause and listen carefully. Ask yourself whether those words are helping you move forward or holding you back. Replace doubt with determination. Replace fear with courage. Replace excuses with responsibility. Speak to yourself like someone who believes in your future. Speak to yourself like someone who expects growth. Speak to yourself like someone preparing for greatness. Because every word you repeat becomes a seed planted in your mind. Some seeds produce confidence, discipline, and success. Others produce fear, hesitation, and limitation. The choice of which seeds to plant belongs to you. The life you want is not built only by what you do. It is also shaped by what you believe. And what you believe is greatly influenced by what you say. So choose your words carefully. Speak hope when others speak doubt. Speak possibility when others speak limitation. Speak strength when weakness tries to take over. Speak success into your life every day. And over time, your actions will begin to align with your words. Your habits will align with your actions. And your future will align with the vision you have chosen to declare. Every morning, there is a battle taking place. And most people do not even realize it. It is not a battle against other people. It is not a battle against circumstances. It is a battle for control of your mind. The moment you wake up, the world begins competing for your attention. Notifications start appearing. News headlines demand your focus. Social media presents endless opinions, comparisons, and distractions. Everywhere you look, someone is trying to influence the way you think, feel, and act. If you are not intentional, the world will train your mind before you ever have the chance to train it yourself. That is why one of the most important habits you can develop is learning to prepare your mind before exposing it to outside influences. Your thoughts are the foundation of your actions, and your actions create your results. If you want better results, you must first develop better thinking. Many people begin their mornings by immediately checking their phones. Within minutes, they are absorbing other people's problems, opinions, achievements, and expectations. Their emotions start reacting before they have even had a chance to think clearly. They compare themselves to strangers. They worry about things they cannot control. They become distracted from their own goals because they are focused on someone else's life. Then they wonder why they feel stressed, overwhelmed, and unmotivated. The answer is simple. They allowed the world to take control of their mindset before they established control of it themselves. Imagine a different approach. Imagine waking up and spending the first part of your morning strengthening your own thoughts. Before checking messages, You spend time reflecting on your goals. Before reading the news, you read something that inspires growth. Before listening to the opinions of others, you listen to your own purpose. When you train your mind first, you begin the day from a position of strength rather than reaction. Your mind is like a muscle. If you do not exercise it intentionally, it becomes weak and easily influenced to see. But when you challenge it with positive thoughts, meaningful learning, and focused reflection, it becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling pressure. Think about the people who achieve remarkable things in life. They are not immune to negativity. They face criticism, setbacks, disappointments, and uncertainty just like everyone else. The difference is that they have trained their minds to remain focused when distractions appear. They have developed the ability to think clearly when others panic. They have learned how to maintain belief when circumstances become difficult. That level of mental strength does not happen by accident. It is built daily. Every book you read, every lesson you learn, every positive thought you reinforce becomes part of your mental training. Just as an athlete prepares for competition before stepping onto the field, you must prepare your mind before stepping into the challenges of the day. What you repeatedly feed your mind eventually shapes your perspective. If you constantly consume negativity, fear, and doubt, your thinking will reflect those influences. You will begin seeing obstacles everywhere. Problems will seem larger than they really are. Opportunities will become harder to recognize. But when you consistently expose yourself to wisdom, encouragement, and personal growth, your perspective changes. You begin seeing possibilities where others see limitations. You develop confidence in your ability to adapt and overcome. Challenges become lessons instead of roadblocks. Training your mind also means guarding what enters it. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every piece of information deserves your focus. Some voices will encourage you, while others will distract you from your purpose. Learning to choose carefully what influences your thinking is one of the greatest forms of self-discipline. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can control what you allow to take root within you. That control gives you power. It gives you clarity. It gives you the ability to stay focused on what truly matters. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand that success begins internally before it becomes visible externally. They know that victories are often won in the mind long before they appear in reality. They refuse to let circumstances dictate their attitude. Instead, they develop a mindset that allows them to rise above circumstances. Every morning offers a new opportunity to strengthen your thinking. Every morning gives you a chance to decide what kind of mindset you will carry into the day. You can wake up and immediately surrender your attention to the world, or you can invest time in building mental strength first. Train your mind before the world trains it. Fill it with purpose before distractions arrive. Strengthen it with knowledge before negativity appears. Guide it with intention before circumstances try to control it. Because the quality of your life is greatly influenced by the quality of your thoughts. When you learn to master your mind, you place yourself in a position to master your actions. And when you master your actions, You begin creating the future you were meant to achieve. Your body is more than a vehicle that carries you through life. It is the source of your energy, your endurance, and your ability to perform at your highest level. Yet every day, countless people wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, and sluggish, not because they lack potential, but because they fail to activate the power that already exists within them. One of the most effective things you can do every morning is move your body, not because it is trendy, not because someone told you to, but because movement awakens something powerful inside you. It ignites your energy, sharpens your focus, and prepares you to take on the challenges of the day with strength and confidence. Think about how many people start their mornings. They wake up, sit down, scroll through their phones, and remain inactive for long periods of time. Their bodies are awake, but their energy is not. They drag themselves through the morning, hoping motivation will magically appear. They wait to feel inspired before taking action. But energy rarely comes from waiting. Energy comes from movement. The moment you begin moving your body, something changes. Your heart starts pumping faster. Blood begins flowing more efficiently. Oxygen reaches your muscles and brain. Your body starts sending signals that it is time to become alert, focused, and engaged. What felt difficult a few minutes earlier suddenly feels possible. That is why some of the most successful people in the world make physical movement a priority. They understand that movement is not just about fitness. It is about performance. It is about creating the mental and physical state necessary for success. You do not need a fancy gym membership. You do not need expensive equipment. You do not need to spend hours exercising every morning. The goal is simply to move. Take a walk, stretch your muscles, do a few push-ups, go for a run, practice yoga, dance around your room if you have to. The specific activity matters less than the commitment to get your body moving. What matters is creating momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. Once you start moving physically, it becomes easier to move mentally. Once your body gains energy, your mind often follows. Tasks that seemed overwhelming begin to feel manageable. Goals that seem distant begin to feel achievable. Movement also teaches discipline. There will be mornings when you do not feel like exercising. There will be days when your bed feels more comfortable than your goals. Those are the moments that matter most. Because every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your character. You prove to yourself that you are capable of doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. That lesson extends far beyond exercise. The discipline you develop through physical movement begins showing up in other areas of your life. It helps you stay committed to your goals. It helps you remain focused when distractions appear. It helps you push through challenges when motivation fades. Movement is also a powerful reminder of your potential. Every step you take, every repetition you complete, every workout you finish is evidence that you are capable of growth. You become stronger than you were yesterday. You improve little by little. And those small improvements eventually create remarkable results. Many people underestimate how closely the mind and body are connected. When your body feels weak and inactive, your mindset often suffers. But when your body feels energized and strong, your confidence naturally increases. You stand taller. You think more clearly. You approach challenges with a greater sense of belief. Physical movement is not just about changing how you look. It is about changing how you feel. It is about developing the energy required to pursue your dreams and the resilience required to overcome obstacles. Every morning presents a choice. You can begin the day passively, waiting for energy to arrive, or you can create that energy through action. You can remain stuck in comfort, or you can step into movement and awaken the power within you. The strongest version of yourself is not created by wishing for better days. It is created by taking action, one morning at a time. Every stretch, every step, every workout is an investment in the person you are becoming. So when you wake up tomorrow, do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Move your body, increase your energy, build your momentum, awaken your strength, because hidden within every movement is a reminder that you are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and far more powerful than you have yet discovered. The moment you begin moving, you begin unlocking that power. And when your body awakens, your potential awakens with it. Every person faces problems. No matter how successful, talented, intelligent, or hardworking someone may be, challenges are an unavoidable part of life. There will always be obstacles to overcome, setbacks to endure, and difficulties to navigate. The difference between those who move forward and those who remain stuck is often not the size of their problems, but the focus of their attention. Most people spend too much time thinking about what is wrong and too little time thinking about where they are going. They wake up every morning focused on their worries, frustrations, and limitations. They replay mistakes from the past. They stress over circumstances they cannot control. They allow problems to consume so much of their energy that they lose sight of their purpose. When your attention is locked on problems, your world begins to shrink. Every challenge appears larger than it really is. Every setback feels permanent. Every obstacle looks like a reason to quit. The more you focus on what is wrong, the harder it becomes to see what is possible. But there is another way to live. Purpose has the power to pull you through situations that problems alone would push you away from. When you know why you are doing something, you can endure difficulties that would otherwise stop you. Purpose gives meaning to sacrifice. Purpose gives strength during adversity. Purpose provides direction when life feels uncertain. Think about a ship crossing a vast ocean. Storms may appear. Waves may become rough. Winds may change direction. But as long as the captain keeps his eyes on the destination, the ship continues moving forward. The storms may slow progress, but they do not determine the destination. Life works the same way. Your problems are the storms. Your purpose is the destination. The mistake many people make is allowing temporary challenges to distract them from long-term goals. They become so focused on the storm that they forget where they are headed. Instead of moving forward, they become trapped in cycles of worry, fear, and frustration. Successful people are not successful because they have fewer problems. In many cases, they face more challenges than the average person. The difference is that they refuse to allow problems to become the center of their attention. They acknowledge obstacles, learn from them, and then return their focus to the mission. They understand a powerful truth. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on obstacles, you will find more obstacles. If you focus on excuses, you will find more excuses. But if you focus on solutions, growth, and purpose, your mind begins searching for opportunities instead of limitations. Every great achievement in history required someone to look beyond present difficulties. Inventors faced failures. Entrepreneurs faced rejection. Athletes faced defeat. Leaders faced criticism. Yet they continued moving forward because they were connected to something bigger than their immediate circumstances. Purpose creates persistence. When you are driven only by comfort, challenges will stop you. When you are driven only by motivation, difficult days will discourage you. But when you are driven by purpose, you develop the ability to keep going even when progress feels slow. Purpose reminds you that today's struggle is not the end of the story. It is simply part of the journey. This does not mean ignoring your problems. Problems require attention and solutions. But there is a difference between addressing a problem and becoming consumed by it. Address the challenge, learn the lesson, make the adjustment, and then continue moving toward your goal. Do not allow a temporary setback to define a permanent future. Every morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and focus on everything that is not working, or you can focus on the vision that inspires you to keep going. You can spend your energy complaining about obstacles, or you can invest your energy pursuing your purpose. One path leads to frustration. The other leads to growth. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not people without problems. They are people with a powerful reason to continue despite those problems. Their purpose becomes greater than their fear. Their vision becomes stronger than their doubts. Their commitment becomes more powerful than their excuses. So when challenges appear, and they will, remember why you started. Remember the dream that excites you. Remember the future you are trying to create. Keep your eyes on the destination rather than the storm. Because problems will come and go, but purpose has the power to guide your life in a direction that problems never can. Focus on your purpose, and you will discover the strength, resilience, and determination needed to overcome whatever stands in your way. Dreams are powerful. Goals are important. Vision gives direction. But none of these things can change your life on their own. A dream without action remains a wish. A goal without action remains an idea. A vision without action remains a picture in your mind. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be is built through action. Every day, people spend hours thinking about what they want to achieve. They imagine success. They talk about their plans. They wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves that tomorrow will be the day they finally start. But tomorrow becomes next week becomes next month, and before they know it, years have passed without meaningful progress. The truth is simple. Progress does not come from intention. Progress comes from action. You do not need to have everything figured out before you begin. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need perfect conditions. What you need is the willingness to take one step forward. One action may seem small. It may even feel insignificant. but never underestimate the power of a single step. Every great accomplishment started with one decision. Every successful business began with one idea acted upon. Every masterpiece started with a single stroke. Every champion began with one workout. Every achievement that inspires us today was once just a small action taken by someone who refused to stay still. The problem is that many people focus so much on the size of their goals that they become overwhelmed. They look at the distance between where they are and where they want to be, and it feels impossible. Instead of moving forward, they freeze. Instead of taking action, they wait. But success is not built by conquering the entire journey at once. It is built by taking the next step. You imagine standing at the base of a mountain. If you focus only on the summit, the climb can seem intimidating. But if you focus on taking the next step, then the next one after that, progress becomes possible. Eventually, those small steps lead you to places that once seemed unreachable. Life works the same way. You do not have to write an entire book today. Write one page. You do not have to master a skill in a single week. Practice for a few minutes. You do not have to completely transform your life overnight. Simply make one decision today that moves you in the right direction. Small actions create momentum. Momentum is powerful because it makes future action easier. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. The hardest part is often beginning. Once you take that first step, confidence starts to grow. Fear begins to lose its grip. Doubt becomes quieter. You begin proving to yourself that progress is possible. Action also creates clarity. Many people wait until they have all the answers before they begin. But clarity often comes from movement, not from waiting. You learn by doing. You grow through experience. You discover solutions while taking action that you would never have discovered by standing still. The person who takes imperfect action often moves farther ahead than the person waiting for the perfect plan. There will be days when you feel motivated and excited. On those days, taking action may feel easy, but there will also be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. Those are the days that truly matter, because discipline is revealed when motivation disappears. Anyone can move forward when everything feels good. Real growth happens when you continue moving forward despite discomfort. Every time you take action when you do not feel like it, you strengthen your character, you build resilience, you develop the habits that lead to long-term success. Remember, success is rarely the result of one giant breakthrough. More often, it is the result of countless small actions repeated consistently over time. One workout becomes better health. One page becomes a book. One conversation becomes an opportunity. One decision becomes a new future. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not necessarily smarter, luckier, or more talented than everyone else. Often, they simply understand something that others overlook. They understand that action beats intention every time. They know that progress is created through movement. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Stop waiting until you feel completely ready. Take the first step, make the phone call, start the project, learn the skill, write the plan, send the message, begin the journey. No matter how small the action may seem, it is infinitely more valuable than standing still. One step forward today is better than 1,000 plans for tomorrow. Your future is not created by what you intend to do someday. It is created by what you choose to do today. Take one action that moves you forward, and then another. Keep repeating that process day after day, because small actions performed consistently have the power to create extraordinary results. And the life you dream about begins the moment you decide to move. As you leave here today, remember this. Your future is not waiting for the perfect moment. Your future is being built by the choices you make every single morning. Win the first hour, speak success into your life, train your mind, move your body, focus on your purpose, and most importantly, take action. You don't have to change your entire life today. You only need to take one step in the right direction. One step becomes progress. Progress becomes momentum. Momentum becomes transformation. A year from now, you'll either be grateful that you started today or wishing that you had. The choice is yours. So when tomorrow morning arrives, don't just wake up with purpose. Don't just dream about success. Take action toward it. Because the life you've been hoping for is waiting on the other side of the decisions you make today. Now go out there, own your morning, own your day, and start creating the future you deserve.